like to eat inside, okay?
Something rather odd happened the other day. Would you like to hear about it?
Sure.
It was at the Princeton Club. I'd had my racquetball and my steam. I was drinking vodka Gibson at the bar when who should tap me on the shoulder but Prescott Fowler.
Oh, yes?
2 years, please.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Press and I are old friends. We got to talking about old times, new times, whatever. And then suddenly, it was the liquor loosening him up, I suppose. He told me the most startling thing.
What was that?
Well, let me set it up for you. See, Press has found himself a bit straitened financially. Not critically, of course, just enough to feel the pinch. But Press, I find, is quite resourceful.
How do you mean?
Well, I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's in as good a shape as I am. Lean, hard as a rock. We did tennis together at Exeter. And Press, it seems, has turned his fitness to economic advantage.
How do you mean?
Apparently. I never knew this before, did you? There's a woman named Honoria. Very elegant woman named Honoria, who operates a most discreet business out of a brownstone on East 64th Street.
Honoria what?
Oh, no last names, ever.
Oh, my God.
Not rough trade, of course. Women, dowagers even. Lonely and stimulated.
Depressed? Really?
Yes, and not only Press. And this is what cast a whole new light over things. As I said, we did tennis together at Exeter. There was a great bunch of guys. There was a real solidarity among us. And an innocence. Young men, you know?
And?
Well, Press whipped out our old tennis photo. At first I thought it was a nostalgic gesture, but there was something strange about this photograph. Something dreamlike. My dream. Because in it we'd all aged somehow. Gracefully, to be sure, but nevertheless aged, thickened, grown tired. And strangest of all, I was missing. I was quite literally no longer in the picture, as it well might have happened in a dream. And those who were wore unnatural expressions, gross somehow, lurid, unseemly.
Well, of course, it was.
Yes, a picture of Madame Honoria's stable. My old class at Exeter. My teammates. Seems that one by one, they all suffered reversals of one kind or another, and Press had offered them this solution. You see, Honoria only takes bona fide social register types. She caters to the sort of woman who will not condescend, even when all she wants is a good screw.
Doesn't that cause uncomfortable moments? I mean, people knowing people?
Oh, to be sure. But the embarrassment is strictly mutual, making disclosure unlikely.
Oh, God, I just realized some of these people, these are my friends.
As we have in common. Well, I'm not so casual at cocktail parties anymore. East 64th Street has absolutely transformed itself for me.
I imagine.
But here's the other extraordinary thing. One of Press's clients, the other week. Well, they met at the Hotel Carlisle, which I think is dangerous. Never mind. No names. Discreet undressing. Lights out. He took her in his arms. Began. The woman was a wreck. Emaciated. Ravaged face. Nervous, eczematous rashes. Press, of course, was tender, sensitive, aware, careful not to show the revulsion he felt for the woman, for the ruined body and her grief. And he made love to her, like a gentleman and a scholar. Midway through it, she began to sigh in a distinctive way, a sort of little chihuahua yelp. And it was like Proust's Madeleine, a flood of memories. And he pulled back too quickly and looked at her face. The face of this woman he'd been hired to service, and in utter, absolute, blinding shock, cried out, "Claudia Duplessis?" Well, she closed her eyes then and asked, Is that you, Press?
All of which means...
Well, some 30 years ago, when he was at Exeter and she was at Concord Academy, Claudia Duplessis and Press Fowler lost their virginities to each other. One weekend at a mixer. He was the tennis champion, and she was the prettiest girl at Concord. And after that weekend, they never met again.
What'd they do when they realized?
They clung to each other for dear life.
And of course he declined any fee for his services.
To the contrary, he charged double. What I mean is, don't you sometimes think that we're the last moral people on earth? The last people with a sense of the common decencies, who know about the fitness of things, who adhere to a standard.
Does your wife know about us? Is that what you're saying?
All right, then. Yes.
What are we going to do?
Have I ever told you that your hair is the color of tea roses?
Incessantly.
Does it make you happy?
Yes.
Well, then what's the problem? I'm not being obtuse. I really don't see the problem.
Thought you were supposed to be working. Haven't seen it.
I've been bathing the kids, feeding them, washing the dishes, Windexing the glass, which in this house is a chore, believe me. I mean, what kind of people build a glass house on the edge of a hill in front of an ocean?
Rich people.
Why are you playing with that string?
Why not?
Well, whenever I see you, you've got something. String, a rubber band, marbles. Your hands are never unoccupied. Why is that?
Do you have money for train fare yet? It can't be more than $10 from here to the city.
I've decided to stick around for a while. Well, until I've got enough to get started. It's not the best idea to arrive in Manhattan empty-handed. Lots of people on the street waiting for you if you do that. Terrible types on the streets of Manhattan. Muggers, rapists, mimes. Aha!
That was a spasm.
No, it
I
wasn't.
promise you it was.
I don't believe you.
I don't care.
Amy Joy tells me you went to Radcliffe for a while. I got kicked out of a lot of schools, too.
I did not get kicked out. I left.
Really? Why?
Reasons. Amy Joy never understood why I went in the first place. She always said, once you get in, why bother?
I like her.
Of course, everybody does.
I like you, too.
That's a less common reaction.
Why don't you ever talk to me?
Kip, listen. You're here because Amy Joy wants you here. You're her boy, not mine.
I like you better. I mean, I like her a lot, but I like you better. What did I say? Did I offend you? I didn't mean to offend you.
I want you to leave soon.
Look, I'm sincere. Utterly. I think we have a lot in common. I have trouble with people, too. I look as if I don't, but I do. Do you know, before I came here, I used to gaze up at this house. I used to wonder about it. There's a green light that burns all night at the end of your dock.
That's the goddamn Great Gatsby. I can read. Oh, you sensitive boys with your quotations. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
You should. I only tell nice lies. The past 5 days here, I've been looking for a method to approach you. I think unapproachable people like us have a responsibility to seek each other out. And the only thing I've come up with is to tell you exactly how I feel. But it's hard to express something like this. You must know how hard it is.
Meaning?
I'd like to get you between the sheets.
I'd like to get you between the eyes.